We'll just start and do. Okay, I've shared a couple of case studies with you for so that you can analyze the things that we have discussed in our lectures. And today we are kind of summing up the whole course because we've pretty much studied all the things, all the main things. Whenever we start our uh, new session, the session of physical classification, then we will discuss these things again. Okay, I'm good. How are you? Wow. So we have 12 people in it, but there are others saying that they are not able to connect somehow. Did you have any problem? Is my voice clear?
सर ज्यादा क्लियर नहीं है बस।
हाँ, अब बताएं।
जी जी अब बेहतर है।
ओके। अच्छा, फिर कनेक्शन में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, क्या करें? शुड वी स्विच टू फेसबुक? 12 लोग तो हैं।
सर सही तो कर रहा है।
हाँ, बात।
सर फेसबुक पे फिर वो कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो वो नहीं कर सकते ना, आप लाइव होते हैं
हाँ,
तो फिर वो इंटरेक्शन नहीं हो पाता।
अच्छा, thank you, Usama, for sharing your ID with all of us. But what are we going to do with it? We don't know. Anyway, uh, let's first talk about this. We have last time the exam for strategic marketing was in a lab, which means that what I did was that I gave a case study, which is called a take-home case study. So, in a take-home case study, you receive a case study about 1 week or 10 days before the exam. And for example, the case study of Henkel that I have shared with you, just a case study like that. And uh, then you study that case study, and when you are uh, when you come to the exam or to take the exam, you will be given a set of questions related to the case study. For example, last time I gave Coca-Cola, and then I gave a list of products that that could be launched by Coca-Cola. And this list was given to the students, and therefore they were able to do this task because they already had about 10 days to study the case study. Even though it was about 20-30 pages, still you could study that in your in the time that you prepare. So you really know what is going to come in the exam. The only question is how you will apply your knowledge gained throughout the session in that case study to solve a particular problem. So it was conducted in the lab, in the computer lab, and there were 3 hours, and there was just one presentation to make. One presentation to make in 3 hours, and all the questions were actually the slides of that presentation. So the whole exam was in a PPT file, and I think it worked pretty well for the students, and they learned a lot through that because it was closer to what the reality is. How you actually solve problems in real life, how you make presentations based on your research, based on whatever you have studied. So that is how I usually take the exam for strategic marketing. Now the question is, if you have any other option in mind, you can tell me. If you want to go with the conventional exam, with that will be very, very, you can say generic, because if that exam is conducted, then it will be the same exam for all the sections. And whenever the exam is for all the sections, it is a very generic kind of exam. There is nothing new or interesting to learn from the exam itself. So I will obviously I will not recommend that. I would definitely want my exam to be successful. Now I would like your opinion on this. Whoever has any opinion, who has a better option, maybe they can tell me. But I think this is how it should be. A case study given to you in advance, 10 days before the exam, you study it and the questions are related to it. But let me assure you that it is a case study exam. It is not a comprehension exam like the ones that you have in your aptitude test, in which a certain sentence is written inside the text of the comprehension, and then you just have to search for that word. For example, that is written that in a case study of Muhammad Ali Jinnah University. Muhammad Ali Jinnah University has a campus in PEC, Karachi. And then the question is like this, that where is the campus of Muhammad Ali Jinnah University? So you just search the text and you find out and you give the answer. It's not a question of comprehension. The answers will obviously not be there in the case study. It will just be a supportive document to give you a strategic line that you should be able to devise your own strategies on these lines as done previously by this company. So that's the idea. Now, I would like your opinion on this. I'm waiting.
Sir, case study is good
Okay. Anybody
from my side.
Anybody else who has some other option or
Sir, case study is good.
तो फिर केस स्टडी को डन कर दूं?
सर केस स्टडी के अलावा दूसरा ऑप्शन क्या है?
केस स्टडी के अलावा दूसरा ऑप्शन एक ऑब्वियसली यही है कि हम बस जो रेगुलर एग्जाम होता है उसी के अंदर बाकी सेक्शंस के साथ हम भी एग्जाम दे देंगे। तो ऑप्शन यही है। एक ऑप्शन ये भी हो सकती है कि हम केस स्टडी मेथड को ही एग्जाम में इंट्रोड्यूस करें, विच इज वेरी हार्ड टू डू, बिकॉज कि अगर मैं आप लोगों को तो केस स्टडी दे दूंगा, लेकिन मुझे लगता है दूसरे सेक्शन वाले जो है वो कहेंगे नहीं हमारे स्टूडेंट तो कुछ नहीं करते हैं, हमारे स्टूडेंट बेकार हैं, वो कुछ नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए उनको केस स्टडी मत करो।
सर हमारे ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल क्या होगा?
बेनिफिशियल तो होगा केस स्टडी। उसके दो फायदे, एक तो ये कि वो आपका ट्रू टेस्ट होगा कि आपने वाकई कुछ सीखा है या नहीं।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। अच्छा सर, आपसे कुछ चीजें डिस्कस करनी थी। सबसे पहले तो ये लास्ट क्लास में आपने हमें बताया था कि टर्म रिपोर्ट जो थी हमारी, आपको रिव्यू रिपोर्ट की जगह आपको जो है वो प्रेजेंटेशन सबमिट करनी है।
हाँ,
तो सर प्रेजेंटेशन का टॉपिक क्या है? आपने हमें रिव्यू रिपोर्ट के लिए कहा था कि आपको जितने लोग हैं अपने केस स्टडीज लेके और उनकी रिव्यू रिपोर्ट बना दें। अब प्रेजेंटेशन के ऊपर क्या करना है, उस पर क्या प्रेजेंट किस तरीके से, किस चीज के टॉपिक के?
बार बार चीजें चेंज हो रही है ना।
जी,
उसके बाद ये हुआ कि नहीं 15 जुलाई से होगा, अब दोबारा शायद 1 जून से ही हो जाए। अब ये कुछ आइडिया नहीं हो रहा है। तो अब मैं
सर हम एक चीज पर करते हैं ना।
हाँ, तो हम या तो यही करें कि हम क्लासेस और नो क्लासेस वी गो फॉर द रिपोर्ट, क्योंकि रिपोर्ट तो आप अभी भी बैठकर अभी से लेकर 1 जून तक भी बना सकते हैं।
बिल्कुल
20-25 दिन में। तो बाकी
तो
लोग
सर यही बेटर है, हम रिव्यू रिपोर्ट बना लेते हैं।
ये करना इतना करना है लोग।
आपने जिस तरीके से बोला था कि जितने ग्रुप मेंबर्स हैं एक एक केस स्टडीज उठा लें और उसके भी रिपोर्ट बना के दे दें।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ऐसा करना है भाई। बाकी लोग क्या कह रहे हैं?
ठीक है सर।
सर ये सही है, मेरे ख्याल में बहुत मुनासिब रहेगा, क्योंकि जिस तरीके के अभी हालात हैं कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा। जाहिर है कोई डिसीजन फुलफिल या फाइनल हो ही नहीं रहा, तो ये बेहतर है क्योंकि इस पर हमारी ऑलरेडी डिस्कशन हुई नहीं क्लासेस में ना, तो ये बेहतर है, अंडरस्टैंडेबल है मेरे हिसाब से। बाकी जैसा सब बोला।
ठीक है, अगर किसी को क्वेश्चन है तो बता दें, वरना फिर हम ये रिव्यू रिपोर्ट पे बता देते हैं।
पहले थोड़ा सा रिपीट कर दीजिएगा सर।
क्या रिपीट ये बता दें? रिव्यू रिपोर्ट
सर मैंने अभी कहा। जी जी सर।
हम ये बात कर रहे हैं कि फाइनल जो प्रोजेक्ट आपका है वो प्रेजेंटेशन के बजाय वापस हम रिव्यू रिपोर्ट की तरफ चले जाए, जैसे कि हमने पहले डिस्कस किया था।
सर वो इंडिविजुअल होगा या ग्रुप में होगा सर?
ग्रुप में होगा। 3 लोग हैं तो 3 लोग एक एक केस स्टडी उठाएंगे, एक एक केस स्टडी की बात है।
ठीक सर।
और उसके बाद जो है वो तीनों एक ही टॉपिक से रिलेटेड केस स्टडी होनी चाहिए बेसिकली, और उनको कंसोलिडेट करके एक रिव्यू रिपोर्ट बनाएंगे। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं कहूँ कि एडवर्टाइजिंग स्ट्रेटजीज इन पाकिस्तान, तो
ओके सर।
स्ट्रेटजीज इन पाकिस्तान के ऊपर आपने 3 पाकिस्तानी रिसर्च पेपर्स निकाले और उन तीनों को रिव्यू किया, उनको देखा कि ये कैसे, इनके अंदर क्या बात हो रही है, रिव्यू को कैसे करना है, इसका जो मेथड है वो मैं आप लोगों को सेंड कर दूंगा। ठीक है, वो जब रिव्यू करेंगे तो फिर उसके ऊपर एक कंसोलिडेटेड रिपोर्ट बनाएंगे, यानी कि 3 रिसर्च पेपर्स को कंबाइन करके आप अपने रिजल्ट जमा करेंगे और एक रिव्यू रिपोर्ट बनाएंगे जो कि आपकी फाइनल रिपोर्ट होगी। ठीक है, अब इसके अंदर ये मैं बता दूं कि ग्रुप में
सर जो रिव्यू रिपोर्ट होगी सर, रिव्यू रिपोर्ट के बेस पे सर,
हाँ उसके 10 नंबर होंगे ना, कम से कम 10 नंबर।
सर तो पेपर तो यदि सुनने में आ रहा है कि यूनिवर्सिटी मजीद नहीं खुलेंगे तो सर पेपर क्या तरीका होगा सर फाइनल का?
पेपर जब भी होगा, हो सकता है अगस्त में हो सकता है जुलाई में हो, जब भी होंगे उससे पहले हमारी कुछ क्लासेस होंगी जिसमें हम ये सब चीजें रिवाइज कर लेंगे और उसके बाद एग्जाम।
ओके सर। ओके सर, बस उससे पहले पेपर से पहले ये रिपोर्ट जमा करवानी है टेनिस को।
हाँ हाँ, इसकी डेट मैं कोई रख दूंगा अभी से 1 महीने बाद की।
ओके सर।
ठीक है,
सिंगल होगी या ग्रुप?
ग्रुप में होगी। अब मैं ये भी बता दूं कि जब ग्रुप में होती है तो प्रॉब्लम क्या हो सकती है। नंबर 1 प्रॉब्लम क्या हो सकती है कि आप जो है वो एक आदमी जो है वो 3 रिसर्च पेपर ढूंढ रहा है और बाकी 2 लोग आराम से बैठे। तो शुरू में तो वो मान लेता है बात कि हाँ ठीक है मैं कर लेता हूँ, लेकिन उसके बाद फिर वो बाद में आके मुझसे जो है वो कहता है कि बाकी लोगों ने तो वो काम नहीं किया। तो ये जो सारे चीजों को मैनेज करना ये आप लोगों का अपना
तो वैसे अभी ग्रुप्स भी बने नहीं है आई गेस सबके, क्योंकि क्लासेस स्टार्ट हुई थी, उनका इंटरेक्शन भी नहीं हुआ था, जैसे मेरा नहीं बना हुआ, तो आई गेस प्रॉपरली मैं इंडिविजुअली काम कर रहा हूँ।
नहीं, आई डोंट थिंक सो। मेरे ख्याल में तो सबके ही ग्रुप बने हुए थे, और अगर आपका नहीं बना तो आप गूगल क्लासरूम पे अपना ये कमेंट डाल दे तो भाई मेरा ग्रुप नहीं है,
ठीक है।
मैं अगर किसी ग्रुप को ज्वाइन करना चाहूँ तो मुझे ग्रुप कोई ले ले अपने पास जिसके पास 3 सेकंड।
थैंक यू।
ठीक है, तो ये चीज हो गई कि रिव्यू का मैं आपको भेजूंगा कि ये चीज कैसे होगी, और उसके बाद फिर जो है वो फिर कर लेंगे। ठीक, अच्छा, तो ये एग्जाम की बात हो गई, प्रोजेक्ट की बात हो गई, और हमारे कितने असाइनमेंट्स हुए हैं। हमारा एक क्विज हुआ है, एक असाइनमेंट हुआ है ना। तो अभी 1-2 असाइनमेंट और आएंगे। अब जो है ना एक्चुअली एग्जाम क्लासेस जो है वो ऑलमोस्ट फिनिश्ड है आई थिंक। टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग वी ओनली और लीगली स्पीकिंग वी ओनली हैव 1 more क्लास। we have just one more class, then we are probably will just be coordinating after that in the Google class. Let's see क्या होता है अभी देखते हैं. I'm sure. मगर अब जो असाइनमेंट जरा करेंगे. आप रेडी हो गए?
अच्छा सर, एक और क्वेश्चन था मेरा.
क्या होगा सर?
अच्छा सर, मैं ये कह रहा था जैसे अभी हमारा टर्म रिपोर्ट फाइनल हो गई ना,
हाँ.
सर इसको हाथ में हाथ प्लीज गूगल क्लासरूम पे अपडेट कर दें, क्योंकि ये चीजें रह जाती हैं. पिछले क्लासेस में भी जो बातें हुई थी फिर वो अपडेट नहीं होता गूगल क्लासरूम में, तो वो चीजें रह जाती हैं. इससे हमें एक ड्यू डेट भी मिल जाएगी और हम सबमिट भी कर देंगे काम. सेकेंडली सर, अभी आप अभी ये बताएं, अभी हमारा कोई असाइनमेंट तो पेंडिंग नहीं है ना?
नहीं, अभी तो
जो आपने दिया था वो सब हम सबमिट कर चुके हैं.
हाँ.
बस ठीक है. तो यही कंफ्यूजन थी क्योंकि पता नहीं चला था असाइनमेंट है भी कि नहीं है अभी हमारे फिलहाल.
सही.
तो सर वो रिव्यू करने का भी तरीका जो है वो भी प्लीज हाथ के हाथ अपडेट कर रहे हैं उसके ऊपर गूगल क्लासरूम के ऊपर, वरना फिर बाद में रह जाता है.
हाँ, मैं वो भी अभी डाल दूंगा.
सर असाइनमेंट जो होंगे सर, अभी जो असाइनमेंट्स होंगे सर वो उसके टॉपिक कौन से होंगे सर रिमेनिंग जो आप कह रहे हैं सर?
यही जो अभी तक हमने पढ़े थे, एडवर्टाइजिंग स्ट्रेटेजीज, प्रमोशन स्ट्रेटेजीज, पब्लिक रिलेशन.
हम इसको खुद ही लिख के असाइनमेंट बना के आपको दे दें सर?
नहीं, अभी गूगल क्लासरूम पर आता जाएगा, आप बस उसे चेक करते जाइएगा.
ओके सर.
जैसे पहले किया वैसे ही.
ओके सर.
ये मैंने डाल भी दिया है और ये मैंने रखे हैं 20 नंबर. तो 20 फिलहाल 7 जून तक.
सर फर्दर क्विजेस कैसे लेंगे सर?
वो भी जैसे पहले लिया था उसी से रिलेटेड.
किया सर.
आपको एक बता दूंगा मैं कि इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड है ये, आप इसका वीडियो देखें और उसको जो है वो उसका क्विज अटेंड कर लें.
सर वो कैसे बताएंगे सर? वो भी गूगल क्लासरूम से होगा सर?
सब कुछ गूगल क्लासरूम से.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर.
ठीक है. अच्छा, ओके. सो यहाँ तक बात हो गई. हमने अभी तक जो डिस्कस किया है उसके अंदर जो सारी चीजें हैं, वी डिस्कस द प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रेटजीज, प्राइसिंग स्ट्रेटजीज, distribution strategies, and then we went for promotion strategies, in which we discussed the promotion strategies, and independently we discussed advertising, public relations, all of these strategies. Now let's talk a bit about how these things are coordinated as an effort, which is called integrated marketing communication or a 360-degree marketing. How are they coordinated? Now, when we are talking about integrated marketing communication, it means that whatever the marketing channels are, whatever is being done in marketing has to be integrated, which means that it should show the same picture to all of the consumers and all of the target groups that are related. If the message is different, then the channel should also be chosen in a different way. For example, let's say we have a certain product that is that sells to both consumers and also to businesses, which means say B2C भी है और B2B भी है. Now, what can be such a product? For example, food product, let's say. So we have one of our, let's say we take condiments, ketchup. So Knorr ketchup or Knorr ketchup जो है वो that is sold to consumers and it is also sold to organizations which mean businesses. Now, the main target market are just two divided into two. So they sell to restaurants and they sell to any kind of caterers. They sell to institutes like university or clubs or these kinds. And they mainly sell to restaurants. Also, they sell to the consumer via wholesaler, distributors, and retailers, supermarkets, all of them. Now we can see that the larger part of the consumer market, they would buy these pouches of about, they have I think 800 or 900, I don't remember, 800 grams pouch होता है उनका. So they have that, or 1 kg pouch maybe, and they have these bottles, and mostly they have these pouches. So they are used by the consumers in their own household. While the institutes, they do not usually buy these pouches. Rather than that, they buy large jerry cans of these pouches. So they sell these Knorr in about in 20-liter cans, or they have, if they are supposed to give them to the consumer directly, then they have these sachets. The sachets are usually not popular with consumers, but popular with businesses, and the larger 20-liter jerry cans are also popular with these. Now, when they are selling this, if they are communicating to the consumer why they should buy this ketchup, they will talk about how good the ketchup is. They will talk about what's in it or how it can be used. Okay. How it can be used in the different products and all. But when they will be talking to the businesses, to the restaurant doesn't really care what products can be used or how tasty is it, or rather than they will be more concerned with if it is feasible to store, if it is cost efficient, if it has a good life, so the shelf life, and it is decent enough that the customer doesn't dislike it. So, but there will be more concerned with the shelf life, storage, cost efficiency, all of these. So the message that will be communicated to the businesses will be very different. So probably that message is not communicated to the consumer. So these are different target groups. But integrated marketing communication means that if you are talking to the consumer anywhere, then the message should be same for every consumer and the same across different times. Which means that if you have a campaign and you put up a billboard of that campaign, or you have an activity related to that campaign, and you have that campaign going on, then that campaign should be the same everywhere. It should not be so that you have a certain slogan and a certain campaign in one area and another slogan, another campaign in another area. That will confuse the people who see both of these messages, and that will create a very negative impact. So whenever we are doing this, we should be making sure that whatever our communication is integrated. And when we are doing that, then in a strategic way, we should actually choose our channels intelligently. If we choose channels in which things are likely to be disintegrated or they have a very different uh, uh, state in which they change all the time, so it can hurt our integration of our communication. So we should choose that wisely. Also, we should clearly mention which channels we are going to use for our target groups that are different from other target groups or target markets. For example, the institutions we are targeting, we are going to channel them with, for example, in certain focused magazines, or we are going to target them uh, with different email marketing. So then the same email marketing will probably not be used for consumers. So we have to make sure that the channels are also divided for our different target groups. Then the next thing we should do is that we find out if there is a 360-degree contact with the customer. Now, what does this mean, 360-degree contact? And how do we do this in the long run? So the first thing is, what is 360? 360-degree means coming from all directions in a circle. So if there is a customer at a certain point, so we have to give that customer, the consumer, the person a message from all different directions. Now, why do we do that and how do we do it? So why do we do that? We do that because when we are going to tell our customer about a certain product, then that customer is very likely to forget our stimulus because most of the stimulus that is given or perceived for the first time is forgotten within a day. So if we tell our customer once what our thing is, they are very likely to forget it. If we tell them twice or thrice, research says that after 3 times, actually the customer starts to remember that such a thing exists. After 7 times, it actually knows that a certain product exists. They are less likely to forget it. But only after about 17 times that they see it, then they are likely to consider buying that product. So 17 times, if we have to expose our stimulus 17 times to the customer on a regular basis, then those should be different connections. Which means that if they are going to sit in front of the television, then they see a certain advertisement. Then as soon as they go to check their email, then they see a web banner in front of them with the same brand. Then they pick up their mobile phone, then they get an SMS from the same brand. When they are searching for something on the engine, then the banner in between the searches or the ads that they get are from the same brand. Then continuously being bombarded with these advertisements or these messages from different channels or different contact points. That helps the customer to actually remember and make it possible for them to recall that such a product exists. And then what happens is that when they go out to the supermarket to buy anything, then as soon as they enter, they see that product in the point of sale. They see their markers, they see their bunting, they see their different kiosks. gondolas, and all of these things. So when they see them, then they are likely to recall the web banners or the ads or whatever they have seen in the last few days, and it connects in their mind, and they are now sure that this brand is worth their time and money. So they will start to consider buying that product. That is how it works. So we have to have a 360-degree contact. So what we should do is that we make a profile, and that profile can be upgraded and updated regularly after some time. But we have to have a profile. Now, what is a profile? A profile is the typical person who is going to buy our product, or the typical behavior that would lead to buying our product. For example, if I say soft drink, 7-Up. So the question is, who would drink 7-Up? Very bad time to ask this question, but still I am asking it. Who would drink 7-Up? If you ask this question, most probably the answer would be anybody who has just had dinner would like
Yes.
to have 7-Up.
After.
So we have to, what we do is that we make a profile of the people and ask them, if we see them, that when do they have dinner. We make a profile of the people. We ask 1,000 people if they have cold drink, when do they have cold drink, specifically which of the products lead them to have more soft drink than the other. For example, if you have beef or any kind of meat, you are more likely to go for soft drinks because they are usually more spicier food than simple veggies or pulses. So you are less likely to have cold drinks with bland kind of food like Italian food, pasta, or those kinds of food. You are more likely to have them with spicy food that are traditional in nature. I'm not going to name the foods for your benefit, but you know what I'm talking about. So it means that we make a profile, and in that profile we know that these are our typical customers. They are they are typically of the age. Let's say I make a profile of 7-Up, so I would say typically that person is 22 years old, is a university student, who stays up at night sometimes for projects or for other activities and drinks 7-Up in his or her home, or whenever going out with friends, we have 7-Up at the restaurant. So about consumption, we find out the consumption that this person has, let's say 500 ml of soft drinks in a week, or maybe more, a liter of soft drink in a week. So the typical customer will tell us where we should target our messages, what we should put in our advertisements, how we should connect these things in the point of sale, what offers should we give to the people for the retailers or for the restaurants to display these kinds of products. For example, when you go to a certain restaurant and you did not order cold drink, but you see that cold drink right in front of you in the refrigerator, then you are likely to still consider buying it. But if it is there in the kitchen and you cannot see it, then you are not as likely to be persuaded by the look of it. So all of these strategies come from the profile. So we study the profile and we keep on updating that profile as well. For example, we say that the profile of coffee drinkers has changed in Karachi or Pakistan in the last few years. Usually, coffee was taken in the winters only, or in the colder areas only. But as our you can say the industry has developed and we have had more MNCs coming in, so we have taken the culture of coffee from these MNCs, and you can see that the people working in MNCs like TNG and Unilever and all of them who stay inside their offices, which are air conditioned all the time, or they drive in air conditioned cars, they are very comfortable having coffee in June, July as well. And that has changed the culture. So a big market has emerged, especially for the retail coffee brands like Gloria Jeans and at the time, that they usually target the working people who work in MNCs who earn enough money to pay for Gloria Jeans, and they remain indoors. They do not go outside in the hot environment. So they are very okay with going for coffee. So which means that the profile for coffee drinker has changed in the last 10 years, and we have to update that profile to include different people and also change the age or gender or occupations of these people, or the psychographics or lifestyle of these people. So this is how it is done. And also probably I'll share a video with you. If not, we will discuss how these profiles are made, because that is more of an interactive session, and which we study how profiling is done. So we'll do that when the classes will start. If I find a good video, I will share it with you. So that is how we do. So once you have the profile, then you make sure that you have a 360-degree contact point with those people who belong to that profile, and we highlight these people in the social circle and their social circle as well. We would like them to become our opinion leaders, because they are like the flag bearers of the brand. Obviously, if I say that if you have to choose to market 7-Up, you will not take a 50-year-old celebrity either. You would probably go for a celebrity who is very young. But if you are marketing tea, then you will not probably find a teenager endorsing a tea brand. You would probably go for a middle-aged person, because that person is more closer to the typical profile of the tea drinker. Or if we move away from food, let's consider, let's say, let's talk about stationery, or let's talk about banks, for example. So banks are the target market for banks are different. Obviously, they have these regular salaried people, and they have the business people, and they have the retired people as well. Interestingly, the retired people are very, you can say, profitable for banks, because even though they don't have much money coming in, they don't have much money going out from their accounts as well. Very profitable people. So banks will have different communication strategies for all these three kinds, and they will have different profiles for all these three kinds, and then they will have a different way, a different channel to and different offers to give to these. For example, the business person will be very much concerned with the facilities and transactions, while the salaried person would most probably be concerned with like the discounts that these banks give in merchandising in restaurants and all of these things. While the retired person would probably be more concerned with the interest rate that they are giving for the savings account. All they have different concerns and their communication channels will also be different. So profiling them will help the bank to identify which channels they should use, which offers they should give, which products they should highlight for these different target groups. It will come from the profile. Similarly, for stationery brands, for example, so we know that stationery is mostly used by not in the household, but in schools, in educational institutes, or in offices. Very different kinds of target groups. For example, the same brand dollar will sell a huge number of ballpoints in offices, and the same brand will sell a huge number of pencils in schools, and color pencils at home, and they will sell these markers, the board markers for probably about 5 or 10% of their consumption. 5% of their consumption would go towards the corporate, and the rest would go to these colleges, universities, and schools or coaching centers. So different profiles, different target groups, and different offers made on the basis of the profiles and target group. And that is how we do it in the long run. So summing it all up, we first make a profile, and then we choose the channels that are beneficial for us to communicate to these profiles using 360-degree contact, and then we finalize the offers that we have to give to these people in the long run. It doesn't mean a particular offer that I'm talking about. It means the line in which the offer should be given. Should we give discounts? Should we give prices? Should we give other incentives? Should we give prestige value? Should we give financial benefits? All of these are different lines of offers that we have to decide in advance for all different target groups. Once we do that, we can document it that this is our plan for the next 5 years until the profile changes. So that's how we do it, and that's how we apply it. Okay, so I'm out of breath. If you have any questions, please ask me, or we can finish our lecture for today. And remember that we will have the same time. We will probably start at 3:45 to 4 to 5 p.m. next class. How to make profile for product? We don't make profile for product. We make profile of a consumer that is likely to buy our product. Profile means the description of a person. It's kind of an extensive biodata of a person. No question? So look out for the quizzes and assignments. The review report is already up. The procedure, the way to make that report, I will share that with you on Google Class. It has about 1 month, so don't worry about it. But keep updated on the Google Class.
ये जो रिव्यू रिपोर्ट होगी
हम्म, तो जो रिव्यू रिपोर्ट होगी आगे,
उसका जो टॉपिक होगा
हाँ,
आप
वो कौन कैसे सेलेक्ट करेंगे? You can select any main topic that we have discussed in the course outline. The course outline आपके पास है ना गूगल क्लास में, निकालें और उसके अंदर से कोई भी एक टॉपिक ले लें, या आप जो हमारे पास ऐसी वीडियोस रखे हैं उन सबके अंदर टॉपिक दिए हैं। अब बेसिकली क्या हमने पढ़ा है, माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट हमने पढ़ा है, सेगमेंटेशन पढ़ा है हमने, प्रोडक्ट टाइप, प्रमोशन, एडवर्टाइजिंग, पब्लिक रिलेशन, न्यू प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट, ये सारी चीजें पढ़ी हैं। तो इन्हीं में से ही आप एक टॉपिक लें, रिटेल कर सकते हैं,
तो
मगर एक ही टॉपिक से रिलेटेड होना चाहिए, क्लोज होना चाहिए। रिटेल स्ट्रेटेजी इन पाकिस्तान, स्ट्रेटेजिक सेगमेंटेशन स्ट्रेटेजीज अडॉप्टेड बाय FMC इन पाकिस्तान।
ठीक ठीक
So anybody else?
सर फॉर एग्जाम्पल चाहिए 3 ग्रुप मेंबर्स हैं, तो तीनों मतलब सेम टॉपिक पे रिसर्च पेपर निकाल के और उन पे अपनी रिव्यू रिपोर्ट लिखेंगे, फिर आपको कंबाइन करके सेंड करते हैं।
हाँ, 3 रिपोर्ट नहीं होंगी, रिपोर्ट एक ही होगी। तीनों अपनी अपनी केस स्टडी पढ़ेंगे, फिर एक दूसरे से डिस्कस करके उनको एक रिपोर्ट में डालेंगे कि तीनों से हमने
ठीक है
आज क्या सीखा कंबाइन करके।
ठीक है
जैसे
सर, ठीक
रिपोर्ट है कि लाहौर में सुपरमार्केट में क्या हो रहा है, एक है कि कराची के सुपरमार्केट में क्या हुआ, तीसरा जो है वो हो गया इस्लामाबाद की सुपरमार्केट में क्या हो रहा है। हमने तीनों को मिला और कहा कि अच्छा इससे हमें ये ओवरऑल पता चला।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है।
ठीक है, सो we'll leave for now and we'll see you in the next class. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.